Dogs don't need medals to show loyalty. They don't need applause or praise, but through small silent acts they honor humans in ways more profound than any words. You might not realize it. It's not in the bark nor in the wagging tail. It hides in the smallest moments, gestures that seem accidental yet speak a single truth: I choose you. In this video, we'll explore 10 surprising ways dogs show reverence to humans, actions so simple yet steeped in love, trust, and deep loyalty. And watch until the end. The 10th sign won't just move you, it might make you look at your dog with completely new eyes. Sign number 1. Belly exposure. When trust overrides instinct. Have you ever seen your dog roll over, exposing its belly with softened eyes and a gentle tail wag? At first glance it seems they want belly rubs, but truly this is a sacred act in a dog's world. In the wild, no creature would dare expose its vulnerable belly, the place that houses vital organs, unless it absolutely trusts its surroundings. That instinct for self-preservation is strong, and when your dog voluntarily breaks that instinct, it means I trust you more than my own protective instinct. Scientists call this a sign of secure attachment, akin to how a child only sleeps peacefully in the arms of the parent they trust most. That trust can't be forced and it can't be trained. It must be earned through love, patience, and a sense of safety. So next time your dog lies on its back, belly up, eyes half closed, breathing softly, pause. Because in that moment the dog isn't just asking for a rub, it is giving you its deepest trust, its fullest surrender. Have you ever seen your dog do that? What did you feel? Joy, surprise, maybe a little moved? Tell me in the comments. Sign number 2. Protective sleeping posture. When they become your silent guard. Have you ever noticed that at night your dog hops into bed, circles a few times, then lies down but not curled toward you? Instead, its head faces the door and its body presses its back against you. It might look distant, as if the dog is avoiding closeness. But in truth, it is one of the greatest honors a dog can give a human. To understand, we must go back thousands of years. In ancient times, war dogs were trained to sleep with their backs against a soldier head, facing outward, not for warmth but to guard. They were the living shield between their person and danger. That instinct still lives in your dog. Whether big or small, when they sleep with their head toward the door and back pressed to you, they are accepting the role of guardian over your rest. They don't say I love you, they say I will watch over your sleep. Not every dog does this. In multi-person homes, this behavior is reserved for the one they feel most bonded to, the one they perceive as the center of their pack. When they sigh softly before settling down, it's not exhaustion, it's a breath of readiness, ready to stand guard even while asleep. So if next time you see your dog sleep in that orientation, don't think it's distant or cold. Understand it's a quiet, noble tribute. In the canine world, only love and loyalty can lead them to sleep that way. What about you? Where does your dog sleep at night? In your lap, at your feet, or facing outward guarding? Share with me. Maybe you're being silently watched over every night. Sign number 3. Gentle love nibbles. When strength is reined in by devotion, sometimes your dog will softly hold your hand with its mouth not biting. Just a gentle touch, warm and trusting. Many think it's playful mischief, but actually it's one of the deepest ways dogs express respect and bonding with humans. From puppyhood, dogs use their mouths to explore and play. If they bite too hard, the game ends. It's how they first learn self-control. When they grow, that natural bite instinct remains. But with you, they restrain it, using it to show gentleness. Researchers call this an inhibited bite, a special form of communication reserved for relationships where the dog feels completely safe. When your dog gives you such a gentle nibble, both your bodies release more oxytocin, the love hormone, much like a human hug. That moment isn't play, it's an emotional ritual. Remember, not every dog does love nibbles. They only do that with someone they trust absolutely. So if one day you feel that touch, smile. In that moment, that creature is saying, I know I could hurt you, but I choose gentleness instead. And if you've ever experienced that, congratulations, you've been chosen by a being of instinct to be loved by trust. But just wait. The next sign is more intimate still, when they express love with your nose or ears. Sign number 4. Licking your ear or nose. When love bridges all distances, a lick to your hand is common. But when your dog softly licks your ear or nose, that's no ordinary gesture. It's a profound ritual reserved for relationships of genuine respect and bonding. In the wild, dogs only lick each other's faces in the closest bonds, typically between mother and pup or among the most loyal pack members. It's a ritual of trust and order, a way to say, "I am yours." When your dog licks your ear or nose, it echoes that ritual not out of habit, but from genuine affection. What's remarkable is that to do this, a dog must come close. The ear and nose are sensitive areas, and they only approach when fully confident you won't push them away. That is the highest level of trust in human-dog communication. Researchers also found when dogs lick your ear or nose, they read your emotional state through scent. Every small change in breath, sweat, skin all tell them how you feel. The more they understand you, the closer they long to get. So if one day you feel that warm tongue on your ear or nose, don't dodge it. Let them feel you. Because in that moment they are saying, "I want to be close enough to sense your breath, and I know you won't ever frighten me." That small act is a silent vow, a mark reserved only for those truly chosen. And if you thought that was the most intimate sign, wait until you see when your dog lets you touch their most protected spot. Sign number 5. Letting you touch their paws. When trust transcends survival instinct. Have you ever tried to hold your dog's paw? Usually they pull away as if hiding something precious. And rightfully so, paws are sacred. They contain many nerves and sense danger, vital for survival. In the wild, a dog with injuries to its paws rarely survives. So protecting paws is a deep instinct rooted in their DNA for thousands of years. Yet if your dog allows you to touch their paw, trim their nails, or even place paw in your hand, that's no ordinary act. It's a silent pledge of trust. It says, "I know this is my weakest part, but I trust you more than my instinct." When a dog allows you to touch its paws, the line between instinct and affection dissolves. They no longer see you as an outsider, but part of their pack, someone who will never harm them. Notice many dogs only allow one person to touch their paws. That is not accidental. It's a selective sign of deep bonding where love is expressed by the surrender of primal instinct. Next time your dog offers a paw or lies still for you to take it, don't see it as mere obedience. Feel it, because in that moment you're receiving a gift. Few dogs ever give the gift of absolute trust. And then there are times when that trust is shown not by action, but by presence, when they stay with you during life's weakest moments. Sign number 6. Staying close when you're sad. When loyalty becomes empathy. There are days when you sit quietly without words. Emotions weigh heavy. Tears fall for no reason. And then, as if reading your heart, your dog moves closer. Doesn't bark, doesn't demand play. Just quietly lies next to you, resting its head on your leg. It doesn't ask, doesn't need explanation. It just stays because it knows. Studies show that when owners are sad, a dog's heartbeat changes too. Their stress hormones rise, almost mirroring human emotion. Researcher Emily Sanford at Johns Hopkins University once said, "Dogs don't just see sadness with their eyes, they feel it through every breath. So when you cry, your dog doesn't just see tears, it senses the pain in your heart." Many tales around the world affirm this. A dog in the US broke through glass to rescue an owner having a seizure. Another in the Philippines, Kabang, she used her own body to shield 2 children from a motorcycle, losing half her face but saving lives. These acts were not taught, they were instinctive love. And in smaller gestures, when you're ill, lying still, or simply sad, your dog lies beside you, eyes softening, breath slowing. That's not pity. That's deep empathy. It says, "If you hurt, I'll stay. If you weaken, I'll guard you. Don't push it away. Don't tell it to go. Let it stay. Because for it, this is not duty, this is how it honors you." A small gesture, but one containing the bond of a lifetime. And if that loyalty brings tears to your eyes, wait for the next sign. Because sometimes a dog doesn't have to be beside you to show love. Its faithfulness is felt even at a distance. Do you think dogs are loyal and that's it? Actually, they have silent rituals to honor us. Rituals not everyone is lucky enough to receive. Picture your little dog. It never gives a speech, never awards a medal. But through simple acts, from how it sleeps to how it looks at you, To the soggy toy it brings, it offers a profound tribute. You are the one I choose to trust. Have you ever received such an honor? In today's video, we'll explore 7 surprising ways dogs show reverence for their owners. And especially the last one might make you see your dog with entirely new eyes. Honor the for 1. Showing the belly. Have you ever seen your dog suddenly roll over, exposing its belly to the sky as though teasing you? Many think it's just playful or an invitation to petting, but it's deeper than that. In the canine world, the belly is vulnerable, unprotected. A wild dog would never expose it unless it felt absolutely safe. So when your dog lies on its back, its eyes soften, its tail relaxes, even a long, contented sigh, it's not submission. It's surrender and trust. It's how they say, I trust you enough to lay down my life. Researchers call this a sign of secure bonding, something children only do with parents when they feel truly protected. So that moment is never ordinary. It's a priceless gift. Never dismiss when your dog rolls belly up in front of you, because in that instant it is honoring you in the deepest way with absolute trust. No medal could compare to that recognition. Does your dog often roll over in front of you? Do you think it's just for fun or a declaration of love? And wait, the next ritual. The unusual sleeping posture your dog uses, especially for you, will touch you even more. Honor Saber 2, the protective sleeping position. Imagine lying in bed. Your dog gently hops up, circles a bit, then lies down. But instead of curling into your arms, it turns its back toward you, its head facing the door. At first you might wonder, is it distancing from me? But the truth is the opposite. This behavior comes from thousands of years ago. In ancient Rome, war dogs were trained to sleep back to back with the soldier, not to share warmth, but to act as a defensive wall. When danger emerged, the dog would be first to detect and shield the owner. Even today, those smaller dogs retain this instinct. By turning their back to you and facing outward, they accept the duty of night watch. It's a silent pledge, go to sleep, I'll guard you. What's interesting is, they don't do this with everyone in the household, usually only with the person they feel most duty to protect. So next time your dog sleeps like that, don't read it as aloofness. It's a protective ritual, a testament of love and unconditional loyalty. Do you ever notice your dog choosing that position each night? Honor Mirror 3. Love nibbles. Has your dog ever gently nibbled your hand, not biting, not painful, just a subtle pressure? Many see it as a bad habit, but actually it's one of the greatest honors they can give you. From puppyhood, dogs learn bite inhibition, how hard they can bite during play with siblings. They know the fine line between pain and gentleness. So when an adult dog uses its mouth gently on you without harm, it's intentional. That act means, I know my strength, but I choose to be gentle with you. It's the primal language dogs use to play and to express affection with their mother and siblings, and now they share that language with you. If your dog has ever done this, understand that you've just received a sign of deep trust. Do you find this behavior cute, or have you ever mistaken it for bad behavior at first? Honor for 4. Licking your ears or nose. Everyone knows dogs lick hands and faces, but when they lick your ears or nose, that's not ordinary. Among wild wolf packs, ear licking is reserved for only the closest individuals, often mating pairs or close kin. It's a ritual of respect and bonding. When your dog gingerly licks your ear or nose, sensitive areas, it's their way of placing full trust in you. Furthermore, a dog's highly sensitive nose can detect the slightest change in your body's odor. Each lick isn't just affection, but a way to read your emotions and health. So when your dog lightly licks your ear or nose, don't brush it off. Understand it as a whisper. You are mine. I trust you more than anyone. Where does your dog tend to lick you? Hand, cheek, or sometimes the more vulnerable ear or nose? Honor Number 5. Letting you handle their paws. Have you noticed that most dogs hate having their paws touched? They often recoil instantly. It's not stubbornness, it's instinct. A dog's paws are vital. They house thousands of nerve endings that detect slight changes from the ground. A damaged paw could weaken them in the wild. Naturally, dogs guard them fiercely. So when your dog calmly lets you hold its paws or allows you to trim its nails, that's extraordinary. They're choosing to trust you beyond their survival instinct. Not everyone gets that honor. If your dog lets you handle its paws, it's not just cute, it's a declaration, I belong to you. I feel safe with you. Do you often hold your dog's paws? How do they react? Honored number 6. Refusing to leave. When you're upset. When you're sad. Sick or tears fall. Maybe you've seen your dog refuse to leave your side. It doesn't need training. Doesn't ask for reward. It just stays. Many studies support this. In an experiment, dogs would open doors to run to their owners crying even if scared. In real life, there are stories of dogs rescuing owners from accidents, even sacrificing themselves. But you don't need epic heroism to see loyalty. Sometimes it's just the dog lying beside your bed when you're feverish or resting its head on your lap on a rough day. No one told it to, no one paid it. It's pure love. When your dog chooses to stay with you in your darkest moments, know that it's more than comfort. It's one of the greatest honors, unconditional loyalty. Have you ever felt your dog understood and stayed with you in the hardest times? Honor the first 7, bringing you their treasure. Sometimes honor doesn't come in dramatic moments, but in the smallest things, when your dog brings you a chewed ball, an old sock, or even your forgotten slippers. To them, those are treasures. In nature, possessions, be it food or tools, mean survival. No dog shares them casually, but when your dog brings its possession to you, it means it values you more than preserving the item. Whether it's its favorite toy or a random stick, the act says it all. This is precious to me. But you are more precious. Think about the last time your dog brought something to you. Did you just smile and brush it off? Or did you realize you'd just been honored? Honor number 8, gazing deeply into your eyes. Have you ever caught your dog silently looking into your eyes as if seeing through you? That's not a random gaze, it's a sacred ritual. When a dog looks at you slowly without blinking or shifting, it's a signal of connection, similar to a mother gazing at her child in safety. Eyes are windows to the soul, and when a dog locks eyes with you, it's sharing its soul. Not every dog dares direct eye contact. In the animal world, direct eyes can be a threat. When yours does, it's a statement: I consider you friend, not foe. Have you ever had a moment when your dog's gaze held you unblinking, full of feeling? Honor number 9, mirroring your mood. This one might surprise you. Dogs sometimes mirror your emotions when you relax. They relax. When you're tense, they get tense. When you're happy, their tail wags, eyes shine. Science calls this emotional contagion. If your dog synchronizes mood with you without training, it's because it observes, feels, and chooses to tune in to you. When your dog shows sadness when you're sad, or stays restless when you're anxious, that's not blind instinct. It's their way of saying, I walk this path with you. I share your emotion. Have you ever thought, I'm sad today, and my dog seems sad too? Honor number 10, waiting patiently for your return. One of the most silent honors is when you leave. Your dog doesn't wreck the place, doesn't panic. It waits patiently. Some dogs stand by the window, gaze down the street, or lie where you usually walk in. That behavior isn't just longing, it's a commitment. They believe you'll return, and they keep that silent promise the entire time you're away. Not every dog waits that way. Many panic, break things, or become anxious. But when your dog chooses to patiently wait in a familiar spot, not making noise, that's their way of saying, wherever you go, I'm here waiting for you. Has your dog ever stood waiting for you every time you leave for work or go somewhere? You tell your dog you love them every day with hugs, kisses, belly rubs, and treats. But have you ever stopped to wonder, do they understand it? The same way you mean it. Because here's the truth, what feels like love to you might feel confusing or even stressful to them. Dogs don't speak our words. They speak through looks, through gestures, through moments so small most of us miss them. And yet, they never stop trying to understand us. Every wag, every stare, every quiet sigh beside you, it's their way of saying, I love you too. So what if you could speak back, not in English but in their language, the one that goes straight to the heart? In this video, we'll explore 9 powerful ways to tell your dog, I love you in a language they'll truly understand, a language built not on words, but on presence, patience, and pure connection. Because sometimes love doesn't need to be louder, it just needs to be clearer. 1. Get to really know your dog. You think you know your dog? You probably know their favorite toy, their go-to sleeping spot, and that silly little sound they make when they want attention. But here's the thing, that's not really knowing them. That's like knowing your partner's favorite pizza topping, but not what makes their heart race. Every dog is a world of their own. Some are born to chase every moving thing squirrels leaves, even shadows, while others prefer a soft blanket, a full belly, and a lazy afternoon nap. There are dogs who live for adventure, and there are dogs who just want to be near you, quietly breathing the same air. When you start paying attention to the tiny details, the way their ears twitch when they hear your footsteps, or how they always circle 3 times before lying down, you begin to see their soul. You start to notice patterns, moods, and preferences that no one else could ever understand, because this dog is yours. They trust you to see them, to learn them, to meet them halfway in their silent language. That's the real I love you in dog language. It's not the treats, not the toys, not the fancy beds. It's the way you know their favorite itchy spot, the way you sense when they're nervous, the way you notice when they're tired, but still trying to please you. When you see those things and respond with kindness, your dog feels seen, heard, and loved in a way that words could never express. So next time you look at your dog, don't just see fur and wagging tails. See the personality, the quirks, the tiny heartbeat that decided you were their person. That's the kind of love that doesn't need to be spoken, it just is. Because when you truly know your dog, you're not just their owner. You're their best friend, their family, their home. 2. Be boring. Why routine is a love language for dogs. You might think your dog loves excitement. The new toys, the surprise walks, the random belly rubs in the middle of the day. And sure, those moments make their tail wag. But do you know what truly makes your dog's heart feel safe? Being boring. Yes, boring. The same walk at the same time every morning, the same sound of the food bowl at 6 o'clock sharp, the same cozy spot on the couch where you always sit together after dinner. To you, it might feel repetitive, maybe even dull. But to your dog, it's love written in the language of trust. Dogs don't have calendars. They don't know weekdays from weekends. What they do know is rhythm. The rhythm of your steps, the rhythm of your home, the rhythm of your love. When that rhythm stays steady, your dog learns one of the most comforting truths in the world. My human always comes back. When you keep their routine, you tell them without words that the world is safe, that dinner will come, that the door will open, that their walk, their play, their bedtime cuddle all will happen just like yesterday. And that predictability is peace. It's the deepest form of affection a human can offer a creature that can't ask for reassurance in words. So when your dog stares at you at exactly 7 a.m., waiting by the door with that eager face, it's not just about needing to pee. It's about knowing that life makes sense because you make sense. And when you're 5 minutes late and they give you that look, you know it's their way of saying, hey, I count on you. The truth is, love for a dog isn't found in the big gestures. It's in the quiet promises you keep, the consistency you show, and the stability you bring into their little world. So go ahead. Be predictable. Be ordinary. Be boring. To your dog, that's the most romantic thing you could ever be. 3. Love the great outdoors. If you really want to tell your dog I love you, step outside. Not just for a quick bathroom break, not just to throw a ball and rush back inside, but to actually be out there with them. Dogs don't see grass the way we do. To us, it's just grass, something that needs mowing every weekend. But to your dog, it's a whole universe. Every blade of grass holds a story. Every scent is a message from another traveler. Every breeze is a whisper from a friend they haven't met yet. Watch them the next time they step onto the lawn. The way their nose dips low, the tail starts wagging, and suddenly they're rolling around like they've discovered the meaning of life. You might think it's gross, especially when it's that one spot that smells a bit too natural, but to them that's bliss. That's joy. That's freedom. And when you just stand there waiting, arms crossed, impatient for them to finish, they can feel it. They feel your energy rushing them. But when you let them have that moment, that sacred grassy joy, you're telling them, I love what you love. Even if it means waiting while they sniff the same bush for the 10th time, even if it means an extra bath later. Because love, real love, is patient. So the next time your dog stops to sniff, roll, or just sit quietly watching the world, don't hurry them. Join them. Take a deep breath of that same air. Feel the earth under your feet. Watch the light flicker in their eyes when they notice you're not rushing. You're present. For your dog, that's everything. And if you think rolling in grass is strange, Wait until you hear what happens when you start mirroring them. Yes, actually copying what your dog does. It's weird, but it works. 4. Be their mirror. Sometimes love doesn't need words or even touch. Sometimes it's as simple as being there quietly, calmly sharing the same space, the same air, the same peace. Your dog understands your presence more than your praise. When they flop onto the floor for a nap, you don't need to rush to grab a toy or call their name. You can just be near. Maybe you sit down with a book or scroll through your phone or close your eyes for a moment too. To them, that's love. That's companionship in its purest form. Two souls at ease side by side. And here's a little secret dogs mirror us all the time. When we yawn, they yawn. When we're tense, they stiffen. When we're calm, they melt into the floor like warm butter. So what if you tried mirroring them for once? If your dog stretches, try stretching too. When they sigh and settle down, take that as your cue to slow down as well. You're not mocking them, you're communicating in a language they understand: body, breath, and rhythm. It might sound silly, sure, but dogs read energy better than words. They can feel your mood, your pulse, even the air around you. When you slow your movements, soften your posture, and match their calm, they feel seen, safe, and deeply connected to you. That's why your dog follows you from room to room. They're not checking what you're doing, they're syncing with you. You're their emotional compass, their mirror. So the next time you see your dog stretch, roll over, or breathe deeply, don't laugh it off. Try joining them. Feel what they feel. Because in that quiet moment when you're both still, your hearts are speaking the same language. And just when you think you've become their perfect mirror, they'll remind you of something else. Love isn't about keeping them all to yourself. Sometimes it's about letting them go. Just enough to meet the world. 5. Don't keep your dog to yourself. It's easy to think your dog only needs you. And in a way, that's true. You're their person, their safe place, their whole world. But love, real love, isn't about holding on too tightly. It's about helping them feel confident enough to explore the world beyond you. Dogs are social creatures. They're born to connect, to sniff new scents, meet new people, play with other dogs, and discover fresh corners of life. Every time you let your dog greet a neighbor, wag their tail at a stranger, or romp around with a new furry friend at the park, you're telling them something powerful. It's okay. The world is safe. You can be brave. When your dog learns that happiness can exist both with you and beyond you, their anxiety melts away. They walk taller, bark less, relax faster. They become a little more curious, a little more alive. And then when they come back to you panting, wagging, eyes sparkling, that's love returning in its purest form. Keeping your dog close is beautiful, but keeping them confident is better. When they can move through life knowing they're loved no matter where they go, you've given them the ultimate gift: security. So next time you're tempted to rush a walk to pull them away from that friendly stranger, or skip the dog park because you're tired, remember they're not just sniffing grass or chasing tails, they're expanding their heart. And when you let them, you'll see something magical. Your dog won't love you any less. They'll love you more because you gave them the courage to love the world too. And speaking of love, not every dog speaks the same love language. Some crave closeness, others need space. The real challenge: figuring out how your dog likes to be loved. Let's talk about that next. At the end of the day, love for your dog isn't about how many toys you buy or how many "I love yous" you whisper. It's about the quiet things, the walks at sunrise, the gentle hands, the soft voice that says, "You're safe. You're home." Your dog doesn't care if your house is big or your life is perfect. To them, you are their entire world, their protector, their comfort, their family. So the next time you catch their eyes and see that tiny sparkle of trust, remember they've been loving you all along, in silence, in patience, in ways only a heart that loyal could. And if you want to keep learning how to love your dog the way they understand, stay with us, because the next video might just change the way you hug forever. Tell me in the comments, how does your dog say "I love you" to you? You say "I love you" to your dog every day, but do they truly understand it? Many believe that simply caring for them, feeding them, giving them a bed is enough. But science tells a different story. According to researchers in animal behavior, dogs only feel love when you express it in the language of dogs. And sometimes that language is very different from what we imagine. A gentle look, a warm tone, a well-placed touch can make their heart bloom like a child being held. but one small misstep is enough to make them confused or hurt without you ever knowing. In this video, we will explore 12 scientifically proven ways to express love, small simple actions that can make your dog feel, "You are my family." And believe me, the seventh action, the trust test, is something that most owners do wrong. So if you truly want to say, "I love you" in a dog's true language, stay until the end of this video. Because when you understand how they perceive it, you will not only love your dog more, you will feel loved back in the most beautiful way. Gentle eye contact. Have you ever looked deeply into your dog's eyes and felt as if they were saying, "I love you, it's not an illusion"? Science shows this really happens. When you look gently into a dog's eyes, both bodies release oxytocin, the love hormone that bonds mother and child. Just a few seconds of eye contact can slow the heart rate, melt worries. For a dog, that moment means, "You're my family." But there's one important caveat. The gaze must be gentle, not staring. In the language of dogs, a prolonged or direct stare is a threat signal. So the ideal time is when you both are relaxed after play or while sitting side by side. A few seconds of eye contact paired with a smile or a soft "good boy" is enough to make their heart melt. Don't underestimate this simple gesture. If you ignore those eyes every day, your dog may feel distant even if you feed them or take them out to play. To them, a gaze is the deepest "I love you." Do you ever see your dog gazing at you quietly with soft, longing eyes? I'd love to hear, what do you think they want to say? And trust me, what you're about to hear next will make them feel loved beyond just looking into your eyes. Petting in the right spots. You might think every dog loves petting right, but the truth is, not every touch helps them feel loved. Many people reflexively pat or rub the top of a dog's head quickly, thinking it's affection. But for many dogs, that feels coercive rather than caring. According to a study in applied animal behavior science, when humans pet slowly and evenly in safe zones, such as behind the ears, the chest, or the base of the tail, both dog and owner show reduced cortisol, stress hormone, and increased oxytocin, bonding hormone. Just a few well-placed strokes can shift mood entirely. You'll see it when you get it right. The dog breathes easier, leans into your hand, or softly closes its eyes. If they lick their lips, shy their head, or stiffen, that's their way of saying, "That's enough." They're expressing stop without words. Don't treat petting as an automatic gesture. Every time you lay a hand on your dog is a silent conversation, and they pick up on your intention. Let each stroke whisper, "You are safe. You are loved." Which spot does your dog melt at the most? Behind the ear, on the chest, or that soft belly? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to see how different dogs' sweet spots vary, because that small action already carries 1,000 "I love yous." But do you know the way you speak to your dog holds even more power? Talk in a warm voice. Have you ever noticed that the second you say, "Who's a good boy?" your dog's tail begins to wag like crazy? It's not because they understand every word, but because they feel the emotion in your voice. Science backs this. A 2018 study at the University of York found that when people speak to their dogs with a tone that is higher, warm, and full of affection, dogs pay more attention, gaze longer, and approach more often versus hearing a neutral tone. The reason is that higher, gentle tone activates emotional centers in dogs' brains, processing signals of safe, friendly fun. That voice is for them like a lullaby of connection. You don't need them to understand "I love you," they just need to hear your feeling. But there's a flip side. A dry, harsh, or too low tone can make your dog cringe, shrink, or misunderstand you are angry. For an animal who lives in emotion, tone is the map to their heart. So next time you come home, try speaking softly and lovingly. "Hey, sweet girl, I missed you today." Speak like you're speaking to your beloved child. Because in the world of a dog, that tone is love by voice. I'm curious, what nickname do you call your dog at home? Baby bear, fluffy boy, or little monster? Drop it in the comments so I can see which nicknames are most endearing. And if you think voice has power, wait, what's next? Reaches their body and heart. Cuddles and physical touch. Have you ever held your dog long enough to feel their breathing slow settle into calm? That moment isn't just cute, it's real healing for both of you. When you cuddle or simply let your dog rest their head on you, both bodies release oxytocin, the love and trust hormone. Studies, including one from the University of Pretoria, South Africa, show that just 5 minutes of close contact lowers heart rate and blood pressure in both human and dog. The bodies settle into calm. It's not just cute to hug, but an ancient language of protection. I am here and you are safe. But not every dog likes to be squeezed or held tightly. Some prefer leaning beside you, others just resting their head on your lap. Let them choose. Because love isn't forcing, it's allowing. If you pay attention every time they lean on you, lick your hand, or exhale softly when rested, that is their version of I love you. And you know what? Even one short cuddle a day can add years to a dog's life by reducing stress, boosting immunity, and improving sleep. So next time you see your dog lying next to you, don't push them away because you're busy. Let them feel this is where I belong. When do you see your dog seeking a hug morning? When you're down or always sharing comments, maybe your story helps someone else give more cuddles. Eye-level connection. Imagine talking to someone who always stands over you, bending down to bark orders in a loud voice. Do you feel respected? Your dog feels the same. In their world, height implies dominance. When you kneel or sit at their eye level, you send a powerful signal, I am your friend, not your boss. Research from Yale Dog Cognition Center shows dogs respond 60% more when humans drop to their level during interactions compared to those standing over them. When you do that, your eyes and their eyes align, triggering oxytocin release, fostering trust. Just a few seconds of that is enough for them to feel heard and safe. Next time you call your dog, instead of shouting from above, come here, crouch down, open your arms, look level, and say softly, hey buddy, come here. You'll see the magic. The dog approaches, tail wagging, gently, eyes warm and calm. They come not from fear but from trust. If today your dog seems aloof, try changing your perspective literally. Sit down next to them. Quietly, don't talk, just be. Sometimes love doesn't require words, just humility in seeing the world through their eyes. Have you ever tried meeting your dog at eye level when calling them? If so, share how it felt. Many are surprised to see that one posture change transforms a relationship. Walks that allow sniffing. Have you ever been annoyed when your dog stops to sniff at one little tree or sniffs every blade of grass? Actually, in that moment, your dog is reading the morning news. To them, every scent is a story. Who passed by? What animals left traces? What's new? A 2016 study at Barnard College found that dogs allowed to sniff freely experience significantly lower heart rates, relax more, and show better mood states. Smelling is how they comprehend the world. Letting them sniff is letting them be themselves. Imagine being pulled away mid-sentence in a gripping novel. That's what it feels like to a dog when you rush them on a walk. So next time you walk, try a sniff walk. Go slow. Let them lead. Pause where they want. No step counting, no hurry. Just minutes of olfactory freedom each day helps your dog sleep deeper, bark less, and bond with you stronger. According to Animal Cognition Journal, dogs with free sniffing time often show 40% higher serotonin, the happy hormone. So when you let your dog sniff, you're not only giving them exploration, you're saying, you have the right to be you. I honor that. Do you walk fast or let your dog meander? Drop it in comments. Sometimes just slowing your pace changes everything. And wait, after letting them wander, you come to the true heart of love, shared play, shared time, shared being. Playtime and exercise. Have you ever watched your dog's eyes light up when you pick up a toy? That moment isn't just excitement, it's joy and connection. Though dogs have lived with humans for millennia, their instincts still whisper, run, chase, hunt, fetch. When you play with them, their brain releases endorphins and dopamine, hormones of joy, relaxation, and bonding. A study at the University of Bristol found that just 20 minutes of exercise a day can reduce destructive stress behaviors by 50%, like chewing or excessive barking. The best part, playing with you is twice as effective as playing alone. In their eyes, the joy isn't in the toy, it's in you throwing it. You're co-working their instinct, communication, trust, companionship. And don't worry if you don't have time for a half-hour run every day. Even 10 minutes of tug, 5 minutes of fetch, or a find-it game in the house can channel positive energy. What matters isn't the length, it's the presence, the joy you share. So next time your dog brings a toy to your feet, don't push them away out of fatigue. Think, They don't just want to play, they want to love me. Which games does your dog prefer? Fetch, tug, hide and seek. Drop it below, you might spark someone's next favorite game. And now, Ready Your Brush What Comes Next isn't just about making them look good, but helping them trust you fully. Learn their routine. True love isn't in grand gestures, it's in knowing someone's daily rhythm. The same goes for dogs. Each dog has its own internal clock when they want to eat, when to nap, when to walk, when to wind down. When you notice and honor that rhythm, you're saying, I understand you. According to Behavioral Processes 2023, dogs whose schedules align with their owner's intentions show cortisol levels 30% lower than dogs whose routines are disrupted. Put simply, consistency is love repeated daily. Observe, does your dog greet you at the door at a certain hour? Do they wait for you at a particular time of day? That's not random. That's faith in the steady rhythm of your shared life. And when you reciprocate, walking them at consistent times, feeding them predictably, pausing for quiet moments before bed, you make their world feel safe, predictable, and warm. Don't let your love be reserved for special occasions. To a dog, love lives in the repeated arriving at the same time, that familiar pat, that nightly good morning. Does your dog have a quirky habit, waiting by the door, racing to your footsteps, or always lying in that favorite spot? Write it down. Sometimes our forgetfulness is ignoring their deepest love language. And now that you understand their rhythm, let's move to another language of love: care through your hands and building absolute trust. Grooming and touch tolerance. If there is an ancient love language that dogs still speak today, it's grooming and touch. In nature, wolves and wild relatives lick and clean one another, a ritual of belonging. When you brush, wipe feet, or trim nails, you repeat that ritual, not just caring, but bonding. Studies in applied animal behavior science show that just 10 minutes of gentle grooming a day can lower heart rate and stress hormone levels in both human and dog. Each stroke is a promise: you are safe. I won't hurt you. If your dog allows you to touch sensitive spots, ears, paws, belly, that is evidence of absolute trust. For them, those places are vulnerable, only reserved for those they believe will never harm them. Yet not every dog gives that consent right away. Some tremble, pull away, or jump when you touch a paw. Don't push. Begin gently. Sit beside them, let them sniff the brushstroke marginally, then stop. Next day, a little more. Love sometimes arrives not in volume, but in patience. If today you brush your dog, let silence linger for a few seconds. Feel their breath, their heartbeat under the fur. You'll realize it isn't grooming anymore, it's a trust conversation. Does your dog love being brushed or run at the sight of a brush? Share below to see who's a spa angel, who's a bath rebel. Because after care and trust, the final gesture can melt their heart wholly, a small gift but mighty in its power. Use rewards to build love. Have you ever seen your dog's eyes sparkle right after hearing, "Good boy," and getting a treat? That moment is not only joy, it's a biological miracle. When a dog receives a reward, treat, pet, or affection, their brain releases dopamine, the hormone of joy and connection. A 2017 study from Tel Aviv University showed that dogs rewarded positively with rewards, praise, or play had stress levels 40% lower and showed more optimistic behavior than dogs in punished groups. That means whenever you praise, you are nurturing trust. Each scolding or shriek chips away at that bond, often without you realizing. A reward is not a bribe. It's your way of saying, I see you. I value your effort. A piece of chicken, a good job, or a minute of tug. Those small things tell your dog next to me is safe. But here's a secret. A reward is most powerful when accompanied by emotion. If you hand over a treat while frowning, your dog feels the chill. If you smile, speak softly, that memory becomes warm in their heart. Try rewarding in the gentlest moments, when they sit calmly, wait patiently, or lie quietly beside you. You're telling them that calm and love are worthy. What does your dog love as a reward? Snack, toy, praise, or a hug? Write below. Sometimes a single action brightens their entire day. And if reward is the language of joy, then next is the language of listening, when you begin to hear what your dog says, even without words. Respect. Their body language. Did you know your dog communicates with you every day, just not in words? They talk with their eyes, lip licking, head turning, or even silence. If you truly love them, the most important thing you can do is listen with your heart. Research from UC Davis shows that owners who correctly recognize and respond to a dog's stress signals build the strongest long-term trust. Dogs seldom lash out without warning. They first signal lip lick when anxious, turn away when uneasy, flatten ears, when tired withdraw a paw, when they don't want touch. Every small cue is a message. Please understand me, but many people ignore them. They force cuddles when the dog is turning away, pull them when they resist, or laugh when they show fear. In that moment, the animal no longer feels safe. It only learns that its voice isn't heard. When you step back, say softly, "It's okay, I hear you." You tell them what every heart longs to hear, "I respect you." And it is that respect over time that becomes the deepest trust, the truest love between two species. So next time your dog turns away when someone tries to pet them, don't push. Smile and say, "Maybe next time." You've just taught them you are the place they can feel safe because you listen. Have you ever seen your dog say something with its eyes or body? Share it sometimes. Just having someone listen turns their world peaceful again. And when you learn to respect their body language, what comes next is a gesture silent but full of pure love. Sleep near you. Have you ever woken in the middle of the night to find your dog curled close to your feet or just a few steps away? That moment seems ordinary, but it's actually one of their deepest declarations of love. In the wild, wolves sleep side by side for warmth, protection, and reinforcement of the pack. Thousands of years later, when a dog chooses to sleep near you, that instinct still says, "You are my home." A 2021 study in Human-Animal Interaction Bulletin found that dogs who sleep in proximity with their owners show significantly lower anxiety and higher happiness indices. To them, being near you, being safe. For you, allowing it, my love. You don't have to let them on your bed. Just place a soft bed or blanket nearby so they can hear your breath. For them, hearing your steady heartbeat is an unrivaled comfort. When you let your dog sleep close by, you are speaking with the heart's language. You belong here. I will protect you. And in the dog's world, nothing matters more than the sense of belonging. Where does your dog most like to sleep? By your feet, next to the sofa, or right beside your pillow? Share below to see how many babies love to stay close to their parents. Because if sleeping near is the symbol of trust, then the final piece is the beating heart of every human-dog relationship: time. Quality time. Your dog doesn't measure how many hours you're home. They only sense whether you are truly present. A study from the University of Rostock 2012 showed that when owners spent just 10 minutes a day fully present with their dog, no phone, no TV, no chores, oxytocin levels in both doubled. That proves a simple truth. Love isn't measured by time but by attention. You can sit with them on the couch, hand on their back, saying nothing, or stroll slowly without pulling the leash, not checking your phone. Sometimes just lying quietly beside them, breathing in tandem, is enough for both hearts to feel peace. Dogs know when you are truly there. They sense when your mind is elsewhere and their eyes fall quiet with sadness. But when you return, look at them, smile, whisper, "I'm here." Everything in that small moment brightens their little world. So each day, no matter how busy you are, give at least 10 minutes of being fully there, no training, no commands. Just you and them, two souls sharing breath. Ask yourself, when was the last time I truly sat with my dog, phone off, mind clear? If the answer makes you smile, you understand what real love is. And once you've been giving your glance, voice, touch, and time, join me in the closing, where love is wrapped in one warm message. Now you know loving a dog isn't about the fanciest toys or how many times you say "I love you." It lies in the gentle gaze, in the right touch, in the warm voice, the smile, the few quiet minutes just being together. Science teaches us how to love more faithfully, but it is your heart that makes that love unique. Because for a dog, happiness isn't complicated. It's being seen, being touched, being trusted, and drifting through each moment with you. So next time you come home, just pause, meet those eyes, speak softly, let your hand rest gently on them. You don't need to say anything. They will understand. And now I want to hear from you. Of the 13 or 12 ways we've shared today, How many do you already do with your dog? Which one touched your heart or made you realize, oh, I never noticed that before? Share in comments because your story may help someone else learn to love their dog rightly. If this video helped you understand a dog's heart better, please subscribe and ring the bell because in the next video, we'll cover 10 small mistakes that can quietly break your dog's trust. The tiny errors 90% of owners make without realizing. Thank you for spending time today not just to listen but to love right. Because for a dog, true love doesn't need complexity. Just you, that's enough. Have you ever thought that dogs also know how to honor humans in their own way? Not with medals, not with words, but with small silent actions yet filled with all their love and loyalty. When a dog chooses to look at you with gentle eyes when it lies quietly at your feet without asking for anything, that's not just a habit. That's an honor. It gives to you a silent message, I trust you, I belong to you. In the world of dogs, there are 7 special ways they use to show respect, seemingly ordinary acts but steeped in deep meaning about trust, loyalty, and unconditional love. And interestingly, the last one in the video will surprise you most. At first glance, it may seem odd, yet it's the most touching sign that your dog has truly chosen you as the one in its life. Welcome to Pet Pulse, where we help you understand more deeply the soul of your 4-legged friend. If you truly love the way a dog loves you, hit subscribe and let's explore together. Honor number 1. Showing the belly. Have you ever seen your dog roll over, expose its soft belly? 4 legs curled, exhaling a soft sigh, and thought it's just asking for a belly rub. The truth is that moment means so much more. In the canine world, the belly is the weakest, most vulnerable spot. No teeth to bite, no claws to defend. No wild wolf, no stray dog would dare expose its belly unless it felt completely safe. When a dog rolls onto its back in front of you, it's not a joke or randomness. It's a gesture of absolute trust, a wordless way to say, I trust you more than my own survival instincts. Scientists call this behavior secure attachment, similar to the bond between a child and a parent they trust. A dog only dares reveal its most vulnerable parts when it senses long-term stability, patience, and warmth from you. That trust can't be forced, can't be trained or bought. It's built slowly, day by day, through caring, listening, loving without needing words. So next time your dog lies, belly up, eyes half closed, tail softly wagging, don't dismiss it as just funny. Pause and feel it. Because in that quiet moment, your dog is giving you one of the greatest honors an animal can give a human, surrendering itself in trust. It doesn't need to say, I love you. Just lying there, belly exposed in a world that can be dangerous, is enough because it knows with you everything is safe. So if you've ever seen your dog do that, know this: you have been chosen. You have become the one it trusts more than its survival instincts. And that is the first way a dog honors its human. Because sometimes loyalty isn't in licks or tail wags, but in the silence when it allows itself to be vulnerable before you, trusting you will never hurt it. Or honor number 2, the protective sleeping position. Have you ever noticed that when night falls, your dog steps onto the bed, circles, then lies down, but not facing you instead? It rests with its back to you, head toward the door. At first you might think it wants distance, doesn't want closeness. But the truth is completely the opposite. In the language of dogs, sleep position is a message. From their ancient ancestors, wolves living in forests where each night might mean danger, they would sleep back to back with the ones they trusted most. Not to avoid cold, but to protect each other. When one faces outward, it takes the responsibility to guard, ready to alert if something is amiss. The other sleeps peacefully, knowing there is someone watching. That instinct hasn't disappeared even after thousands of years, even though dogs now live in safe, warm homes. When your dog lies pressed to your back, head toward the door, it's not distance. It's a quiet tribute. You are the one I want to protect. Scientists observing dog behavior have seen this across many breeds, from tiny chihuahuas to large shepherds. Despite size differences, they all share a primal act positioning between their human and potential danger. Sometimes you'll hear a soft sigh or quiet inhale before sleep. That's not random. It's like a guard taking its post, closing its eyes in peace only after confirming its position. This behavior also carries another layer of meaning. Dogs don't do this with everyone in the house. They choose to watch over the person they see as the center of the pack, the one who needs protection most. That person might be you, the one who feeds, walks, or simply feels closest in their heart. Thus, turning its back toward you is not a sign of rejection, but a silent oath. Rest well. I'll stand guard. So if each night your dog still chooses to lie next to you, head toward the door, body pressed close, know this: it is doing what its ancestors have done for millennia, guarding the one it loves. No training, no reward, not even for dominance. Just respect and love so deep it naturally becomes the sentinel. That is not just sleep position, it is a ritual of loyalty, a way of honoring you in silence, recognized only by those chosen. Because sometimes a dog's love isn't in licks or joyful greetings at your return, but in the moment it quietly turns its back, faces the door so you may sleep safe in a world it watches over. Honor number 3. Love nibbles. Have you ever felt your hand being gently held in your dog's jaws, but felt no danger, no growling, no threat? Just a light, careful nibble, almost as if it's afraid to hurt you. This act can perplex many, maybe even feel playful or odd. But really, it's one of the deepest gestures of love a dog can offer a human. From the moment they are born, dogs use their mouths to learn about the world. They bite, chew, mouth taste, and gradually learn the first lesson: how to control strength. As puppies, if they bite too hard, playmates pull away. To keep playing, they learn to modulate force enough to touch, not to harm. That lesson, deeply embedded, matures into the instinct of control out of love. So when your dog gently nibbles your hand, it's not random. It's a conscious choice. In that instant, the dog knows if it applies more force, it could cause pain. But it chooses gentleness. It restrains itself. It trusts you, as though saying, I have the strength, but with you, I choose kindness. Not every dog does this. They won't be gentle with strangers. They won't nibble playfully with those they don't trust. That behavior is reserved for someone they deem safe, someone they consider as belonging. It's a boundary that bridges instinct and emotion, love wrapped in careful control. Behavior researchers call this social mouthing, a form of affectionate communication reserved for individuals in close relationship. Among wolf packs, pups, mouth mothers, or adults show submission or trust via gentle mouthing. In the human-dog bond, that gentle touch is love spoken in tooth and breath. So next time your dog lightly holds your hand, don't pull away or scold. Let it linger. Smile. Feel it. Because in that moment, your dog is whispering in its own language, I trust you. I love you. And when I'm near you, I will always be gentle. Have you experienced that moment when a creature could cause pain, but chooses gentle instead? If so, know you just received one of the highest honors in the dog's world. Because sometimes love doesn't need words. It needs a gentle nibble, a reminder that true strength is in trust, kindness, and restraint. Honor number 4. Licking your ears or nose. Have you ever sat down and your dog walked over and softly licked your ear or gently touched your nose? It might make you giggle or feel slightly awkward, but for a dog, this isn't playfulness. It's a ritual of love. One of the most intimate, respectful ways they show affection to someone they deeply trust. In the dog world, licking is more than a sign of affection. It's language of bonding. As puppies, they lick their mother's face to beg for food, to seek warmth, to confirm her presence. As they mature, they use that same behavior to strengthen bonds with the few individuals they trust most. In wolf packs or wild dog groups, licking ears or faces is only for those with deep connection, mates, family, or trusted companions. It is a ritual of respect, affection, and absolute trust. And interestingly, dogs don't lick just anyone's ear or nose. They reserve that for those they truly consider family. When a dog moves in close, near enough for you to feel its breath and licks your ear or nose, it is a silent declaration, I trust you enough to come this close. Behavioral scientists such as Alexandra Horowitz note that where a dog chooses to lick ear, cheek, or nose is intentional. Those areas are extremely sensitive, carry a lot of scent markers, sweat glands, and personal mood data. To lick there is to read you your emotional state, health, scent. By licking those spots, your dog is showing love and knowing you at your deepest level. So when your dog leans in and gently licks your ear or touches your nose, don't push it away or complain. Smile. Because in that moment, you're part of a sacred ritual, one reserved only for the chosen. That lick is more than a lick. It's a vow of loyalty, a silent kiss of trust. And sometimes amidst the busyness of life, a wet nose touch and warm tongue is enough to remind us we are loved purely and simply. Fretchen is here. Honor number 5, letting you handle their paws. Have you ever noticed that when you try to touch your dog's paw, they often pull it away? Just a light touch and the leg retracts, or they gently turn their head. Not because they don't like you, but because for dogs the paws are sacred. In the wild, paws are essential. They help with running, hunting, defending territory. Even a small injury to the foot can mean death, so the primal instinct is protection. Dogs instinctively guard their paws like humans instinctively protect the chest at danger. So if one day your dog allows you to hold its paw without pulling away, without tension, and with trust in its eyes, understand this: you have just received one of the rarest honors in the dog's world. When a dog lets you handle its paws, it's more than cooperation. It's a surrendering of primal protection. It's acknowledging, I trust you more than my survival instinct. Behavior researchers note that in that moment the dog's nervous system resists the instinct to retract. Its body wants to pull back, but its heart tells it, it's okay. This is someone safe. And so it stays still. It may seem simple, but it carries a depth of trust beyond licks or hugs. Imagine you trim its nails, touch its paw pads, feel the softness and warmth. In that silence is a real bond between two beings. It doesn't speak, but in its eyes it whispers, I know you won't hurt me. I trust you. According to National Geographic, over 70% of dogs still reflexively pull back their leg even when raised in safe environments. So when your dog doesn't, that means you've transcended the barrier of instinct. You're no longer just a human to it, you're its pack, its home. Perhaps there's no simpler way for a creature to say, I love you, than letting someone touch the part it instinctively guards. Next time you hold its tiny paw, remember you're not just touching biology. You're touching trust. Trust that a dog reserves only for those it truly honors. Honor number 6, refusing to leave. When you're upset, there are days when we don't want to speak to anyone. The world feels heavy. Even breathing feels weary. You sit quietly. Tears fall. Silence surrounds you. And then, you sense something small: warmth. A gaze ahead softly resting on your leg. That is your dog. It doesn't ask why, doesn't demand answers. It just sits, patient, silent, as if to say, it's okay. I'm here. They do this not by accident. Researchers have shown that dogs can detect human emotions by smell heart rate behavior. A 2020 study in learning and behavior found that when owners cry, many dogs cross obstacles to reach them, even if frightened. They can't stand seeing their humans suffering, they must be near. That is more than empathy. It is a soulful bond, an invisible thread linking human and the most loyal of creatures. Consider the story of Kabang, a dog in the Philippines who leapt into traffic to shield 2 children from a motorcycle. He lost part of his face, yet lived for a decade more, honored nationwide as a hero. That's no outlier. Across the world, countless dogs have risked life to save their humans or simply stayed by their side when they were sick, hospitalized, or dying. That love needs no teaching. It is not behavior learned, it is instinct born from absolute loyalty. When you're sad, it can't say don't cry. It only knows to sit close, lock its gaze on you, ears droop, body pressed near, breathing soft. And in that silence, it says more than any comforting words ever could. You might not know this, but when you cry, your body's scent changes and dogs sense it. According to scientists at the University of Naples, dogs detect shifts in stress hormones like cortisol in your breath and sweat. They may not understand sadness, but they sense something is wrong. And their instinct has one answer: stay. Sometimes loyalty isn't in heroic acts, just in presence. Simply being there until you calm. No words, no solving. Just there, because they know presence is the greatest gift they can give. So next time you feel broken and your dog comes resting its head on you, don't push it away. In that moment, you're not just comforted, you're honored by the deepest way a dog knows how it chooses to stay. Even when you're down, even when you're flawed, even when you don't deserve it, it stays by your side. That is a love with no words, no reason, no conditions. A love that once understood makes you realize sometimes angels don't have wings. They have paws and a heart full of faith. Honor number 7, bringing you their treasure. Sometimes love doesn't come from grand gestures. It arrives as something small, soggy, and maybe a bit dirty. A worn ball, a chewed sock, a stick picked up from outside. If one day your dog brings that treasure and places it at your feet, stop. Smile. Understand that you are being honored. In a dog's world, offering the most precious thing you have is not a game. It is a ritual of trust and gratitude. From wild times, wolves shared food to strengthen pack bonds. The one given to is not just a companion, it is someone chosen. Today, when your dog brings you an object, whether tattered toy bone or even your missing slipper, it's not just play. It is handing over its prized possession to you, because you are family. Behavior scientists call this a sharing gesture, a gesture only made in deep bonds. In dog packs, it's offered to respected leaders or loved packmates. That means if your dog frequently brings things to you, you hold a top spot in its world, not by dominance but by loyalty and trust. Remember, dogs don't have much to give. No riches, no grand gifts. All they have are toys, bones, or maybe even a sock you tossed away. In their view, that is treasure. When they place it before you, they are saying, "This is mine, but I want you to have it, because you are everything to me." So next time you see a battered ball lying by your door, resist scolding. Bend down, stroke its head, and whisper, "Thank you." Because in the language of dogs, you have just been granted the highest honor, the title, "the one I chose." They don't write thank you notes. They don't send roses. They don't speak gratitude. But through that simple act, they say more than any 1,000 words ever could: "I trust you. I love you. And you are the most important being in my life." And as you look back at all these ways a dog honors a human lying guard, sharing treasure, staying when we are down, you realize we don't just own dogs. We live alongside souls who know how to love, who choose to stay, not for benefit, but out of pure heart. After walking through the 7 ways dogs honor humans, perhaps you'll see something simple. We don't need medals or grand ceremonies. Just a look, a gentle lick, a soggy treasure at our feet. Sometimes that's enough to know to your dog you are the world. Every act they give is a silent vow: "I chose you. I trust you. I live to protect you." Dogs don't need language to say love. They say it with presence, with gaze, with quiet breath by your side through the years. And if you've ever had a dog roll belly up, offer its paw, or lie next to you when you're hurting, congratulations. You have received the highest honor a creature can give a human: absolute trust. That kind of love needs no teaching, no reward, no condition. It comes from the heart, pure, unconditional, unquestioning. Not all heroes wear capes, some have paws. So how about you? Has your dog ever given you one of these honors out of the 7? Share your story in the comments. Maybe your tale will help someone see that they too are being loved in the quietest, most profound way. And if your heart warms hearing this, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where we'll explore 5 ways dogs quietly protect human health, small actions that might just save your life. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. Hug your dog today, because for them, you are everything.